came out earlier, and we talked about it before the break. Greg Robinson arrested on possession of marijuana. Was he going from Texas to Mexico or Mexico to Texas?
I'm not entirely sure. But again, much like with the Browns, this is one of those things that it happened, but it's not going to be their problem at some point.
Right. And Stefanski gets to go back to his office and just go, whew, it's not on me.
Yeah, that decision was probably already made, but now it's definitely been made.
Are these things happening all over the place, or just does it seem like Cleveland's the only one?
I think sometimes we focus on it, obviously, because it's our market, and I cover the team, so I see all this stuff all the time. But it does always feel like the Cleveland Browns are in the spotlight for weird things and bizarre things. And sometimes it's legitimate, like this, a guy getting arrested at the border. Sometimes it's just, look, the Browns drive traffic and they drive TV viewers nationwide. It really does happen. Yeah, it's amazing.
Unbelievable. So, all right, let's take a look at Greg Robinson's troublesome year. He was supposed to be a big help for the Browns. He was ejected from the home opener against Tennessee for kicking the safety, Kenny-Vacarro. Then he was benched. I've never quite heard it like this. Benched for ineffectiveness.
And really the only reason that he didn't remain benched is Justin-McCray, the player that came in for him, wasn't very good at tackle.
Was more ineffective. He was arrested at the U.S.-Mexico border with marijuana. They was already informed by the Browns that he would not be re-signed by them. But those guys, other teams take chances on these guys, right?
Oh, sure. And this was a situation where John Dorsey looked at him, and Greg Robinson played well in the second half of 2018. And they took a low-risk flyer.
Right.
Had he reached some incentives, he might have ended up getting paid a little bit more money, but it wasn't a high risk. The biggest issue is that was their solution to the problem. And in reality, I think everybody kind of knew this was a guy who was a former #2 pick, had flamed out in other places, and you were taking a risk relying on him as your left tackle.
And it's another one of John Dorsey's going out and getting guys that maybe other teams wouldn't take a chance at.
Yeah, and
he's got, how many does he have on his resume? Dorsey,
he's got
7
a lot.
or 8,
you
maybe?
Go back to Kansas City and find a bunch, and of course here in Cleveland a bunch. I do think he really liked Greg Robinson and felt like maybe with the right coach or the right people in charge they could reach him, but it just never happened here.
All right, so here's